And that's how I know it's been a while since I made a video, because I just filmed the whole thing and up and down, not landscape. And portrait, I guess is what that's called. So we're gonna do this again. Anyway, we're here working on my Focus. My ST, it's my daily driver. I've already started doing some things to it. Things I didn't film any of it because it was just wheels, lowering springs, and cold air intake. There's a whole bunch of videos of those on YouTube. The wheels are self-explanatory, pull wheels off, put wheels on. Lowering springs, like I said, there's a whole bunch of videos of it already. We'll go over all those parts, and then the Cobb cold air intake. Went with some Inky NTO3s plus M's. Really like this wheel. I think the color, the silver, stands off against the charcoal. I didn't want to go black like everybody else does. I was going to go bronze, to be honest, but just couldn't find any I really liked. The lowering springs, we went some Eibach Pros. Really like the level of those. I did a lot of research on lowering springs versus coilovers and which one I want to go with, being that I daily drive the car. Coilovers are really nice. I was going to go with some BCs, but even over time on those, they need to be maintained. And I daily drive this car. I want it to look good, sound good, run good, but I don't want to give myself extra maintenance on the car that is unnecessary for me, because I'm not going to ever use the BC coilovers to their full potential, being that it's just a daily driver. So just went with some lowering springs. Edge Autosports has a lot of really good videos on lowering springs where they test multiple sets and then show you the wheel gap on them so you can decide which ones you want and talk about the ride quality of each set. The Eibachs aren't very low, which is good because I live in Texas and the roads aren't the greatest, but also it's even lowering, meaning like your fender to wheel gap on front and back are fairly even. They're fairly close. So that's why I went with those, because I just wanted it to sit even. I didn't want it to sit with a rake like it does factory anymore. And then I went with a Cobb cold air intake, just the pipe. I don't need the airbox. I already run an RS airbox top, which is arguably the best top you can get, or airbox section you can get. A lot of the enclosed, like CPE makes or Michimoto makes, a lot of that stuff. You can watch multiple dyno videos with that box enclosed, you kind of lose horsepower. It restricts the airflow. So I'm trying to make the car more efficient with what it is, not less efficient with what it has. So just the factory piping, because that's all I replaced. The box, coming up in other videos is going to be a Cobb air oil separator, the kit where it mounts between the current one that's there behind the intake manifold. No performance gains there, but longevity and less spark knock. A lot of these mods are solely either looks, designs, or to increase longevity on the vehicle, and that's my goal. Vibrant muffler. You'll understand why this is getting put on in a minute, but it's a 3-inch vibrant muffler. There's the specs on it, the part number, blah blah blah. But so this current video is, well, I guess I can show you these too. So being that the car got lowered, the rear camber is not adjustable enough from the factory to set rear camber correctly. Something I didn't know until it got done. So I picked up a set of massive camber arms, rear camber arms. That's what they look like. A very, very nice piece. I went with these because that bushing in the rear is shielded. You can see it's not open to the elements, which will good for me being as a daily driver. I want to add any maintenance to it that I don't need to, and I live in Texas, which is a very sandy, dusty environment. So what we're going to do right now, though, is a set of CPE rear lower motor mounts. This is the rear mount stage 2, I guess because it's the both pieces. And it just comes with the hardware and the 2 mounts. That's kind of how they orientate on the core. And we're also going to be doing a CV Fab catless downpipe. This is really cool. I don't see very many companies doing this, but I really appreciate this, being that I'm a technician. Been a technician for the last, since 2009. I don't even know how long that's been now. But they offer, when you're buying this, you can add for like, I think it was like $80, $60, something like that, a hardware kit. I did it just to do it because I knew I was going to need a V-band clamp no matter what, and it saved me from having to go source one. But what's really cool is they're sending you the OEM Ford parts. They're not sending you an aftermarket one that may or may not fit properly. That's really cool. I really appreciate that. Good kudos to you, CEV Fab. That's awesome. So since we're pulling the catless downpipe off, it's a good time to do that lower motor mount, because this bracket here, you can see I already took the bolt nuts off, is attached to that downpipe. And it's best to just, instead of taking it off twice, let's just take it off once and do it at the same time. I wanted to discuss an easy way to do this because the videos I see other people doing it, they kind of make it challenging on themselves. So here's your lower motor mount that we'll be replacing. So go ahead and pull off the 15 millimeter, that cross bolt, and there's another 15 millimeter pass-through bolt. Go and pull both of those off. Slide your upper, or your one that's in your engine cradle back, and then take a pry bar and move this motor forward and wedge it onto the lower mount. It's not gonna hurt anything. You're just using this to keep the motor slightly more angled. After you do that, take off the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 13 millimeters. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take off all of those. There is a plate right here that's already gone. That's like a bushing plate. Just pull that down. Gives you a little bit more room. And then after you get that, you can literally just pull on this with a little bit of force, and then it'll literally just pop down just like that. So by it popping down, I'm probably gonna drop one of these because I only have one hand. You can just pull this piece off and then take this piece and slide it back off of that stud, and now you have both of the downpipe mounts off. Super simple. I see a lot of people struggle with that, so I wanted to put that in there. So now what we're gonna do is take off this 15, and then there's another 15 here. That will remove the engine side of the mount, and then the chassis side of the mount will just slide out. So we'll get that did. All right, there's the Cobb cold air intake pipe going into a RS box. You can get these, let's say, without RS on Amazon, eBay, wherever. But this is a genuine RS one that I picked off Marketplace. So the lower motor mount's off. It's right here. I always put the bolts back where they came out, just for ease of back of installation. I don't have to fumble bolts and see where they go. That's, it is, they're where they need to be. So the O2 sensors, the down and upstream O2 sensor, plug in on the back side of this motor. Easiest way to get to that, like I was taught many years ago in mechanicking, if it's in your way, just remove it. Don't fight it. Don't work around it. You're going to give yourself more problems. Just remove it. It usually takes less time to remove the object that's in your way than it does to fight around it. So we're going to remove the cowling piece, take off the wiper arms. It's a 15 millimeter, and then they are pressed on to the wiper arm because they're individual motors. So this is actually the motor. And the easiest way I do it, you can figure out your way of doing it. There is a tool that you can purchase that will clamp around there, and then you twist it in and it pushes on here and lifts up the arm, and it will press it off. The tools I have don't fit the style. So what I do personally is I take a pry bar with a little bit of pressure and I pop it up underneath of it, and I hold pressure on it, not a lot. You can see it just puts a little mark on this because I'm not pushing very hard. And then I with the nut still installed, just loosened, I slap the top of it with a hammer. That shocks it and it'll pop up. That's how I do it. You can do it your way. Then you have to take off these Torx bits. There's one on each side. Already loosened them. They weren't loose already. And then this piece right here, will just come up. It is snapped in to the windshield trim all the way around. So you're just going to just lift up. Once it starts, just put your finger back here. Just one-handed and just keep lifting. And then the whole piece will come up. Oh, there's some push pins right here and right here. I forgot about. Let me get those real quick. Pop those right there. Get a trim tool. Pop these clips up. So there's those. Those in the magnet tray. Now, this will just pop right up. Is there another one over here? There sure is. And right there. I guess that one wasn't even snapped in. Man. Should have looked and paid attention more, I guess. It is what it is. Just a couple push pins. Oh, sorry, I wasn't even pointing the phone there. I was distracted. There you go. Now, this will just remove. It's out of your way. I'll set it over here on the roll cart. Then you're going to have 10 millimeter here and one over there, and then this lower shroud will come off. Let me grab that real quick. I need to get a tripod one day. 10. Now this whole piece come out of your way. Set that on top of here. Stick the bolts up there with it, so I know where they went. And that's it. It's a lot easier also when you're doing the cold air intake. I did the same thing. I pulled it off because then your clamp is right there. Like you put your hand right on it. Way easier. But if you look right down here, probably need to get some light, but yeah, I'll need to get some light. But the O2 sensors, yeah, you just can't see them, but they, your downpipe is literally right there. See if it'll focus. Yep, that's your downpipe right there. So the O2s come up that downpipe. You can actually see one of the O2s to the left of the downpipe, and they plug into the back here behind the motor. So now I can get my hand back there and unplug them easily. So we're gonna do that, and then we'll lift it back up and get back under the vehicle. All right, now that your cowling's off, see the O2 sensors are unplugged. There's one plug on that fell right here. That's not where it is, it just fell. The other one, looks like it fell back here somewhere maybe. Oh, where'd it go? Yeah, right there. That's the other one that fell. So now what you're going to want to do, take this cross member piece off, which is just a 15, a 15, a 15, 15, 15, 15. I already started, so you guys are going to have to wait. And I also don't have a tripod. I'll put this up with my arm. Don't drop. Okay. Get that cross member off. Let's go with that. Then you need to take off this exhaust hanger. Just a couple 10 millimeters. That can stay with the pipe. It's not that big of a deal. Then you have these here to take off, which looks like they use the aftermarket ones from the AWE. So I'll have to get the hardware or get the sizing for that. And then you can move this whole pipe out this way. Just be easy not to mess up your heat shielding, because it is going to be a wiggle around, move around. I guess I'll come back and show you how to get the V-band off too after I get that off. I just wanted to show this real quick. So those are loose. That 13 millimeter nut off of the V-band is off. So now what you're going to do is take yourself a pry bar. You're gonna pop it up through here and you're gonna put it on the, can I get a shot of that? Yeah. You're gonna put it up on that lip of that V-band, and you're gonna smack it with a hammer. And that's gonna unstick that V-band. It's designed to get stuck. It's designed to pinch it. And it's gonna unsnap that V-band. You might have to hit it a couple times because it's 3 pieces. I can show you on the new one because it is an OEM one. Stick my pry bar back in this hole. That's the truck I'm working on right now for work. But you can see here, it's like three rings. So you have to unstick each one of those. Usually if you get one, they'll start to kind of walk off anyway. But so yeah, you're gonna stick that pry bar up against this and hit it, and it'll pop it off. That easy. All right, as you can see, down pipe out. There it is. Honestly, didn't damage it at all. You can see the little impact mark from the pry bar. That's still a good V-band, but I'll put it in the arsenal of extra parts in case I ever need it. But we're gonna still reuse the new one, just so I don't have to worry about it. Let's do a comparison here. This one's still in the bag, but new to old. So of course you don't have the cat because it's a catless downpipe, but you can see it maintains the factory hangers. Also has a provision to run the mount. I've heard it's not necessary. Don't really know if that's true or not. If I can put it back on, I'm going to, because Ford probably put it there for a reason. Could be wrong, but I'm assuming that the R&D that Ford does is a massive multi-billion-dollar company. Is probably more than a guy does in his garage when he tells you don't have to put that back on. It's unnecessary. Just my opinion. But we're gonna transfer over the O2 sensors, the upstream and the downstream, and then we can just leave this here because CV Fab provided us with a brand new one, so we don't need to put this old crusty one back on. We'll pop a new one on. So we'll be back shortly, and yeah. Boom, that's fast. They are swapped over. Also, I wanted to point out that there's an extra OBD2 or oxygen sensor bung there. That is for you can put a wideband sensor in there and read live data. It's pretty cool that they throw that on there. If you're not using one like myself, then you're just going to install your upper and lower upstream and downstream O2 sensors. Installing this pipe on a stock vehicle will give it a check engine light, will default a lot of your settings, will make your car run rich. So in doing this, you need to get the car reflashed so it understands it doesn't have a catalytic converter anymore. I live in a non-emissions county, so this is perfectly legal for me to do. A good rule of thumb is that if you don't have every piece to do the job correctly, wait till you do. Don't do it and damage something in the long run. This car is going to get tuned by Alan by Edge Autosports. He's waiting on me to do all of my stuff so I can send him the stuff, and he'll send me a map, and then we'll go back and forth. I will probably record all of that because I didn't find a video on that either other than what they put up. And I think it'd be good to have a video from the buyer's point of view versus the seller's. So now this is ready to go on. You have a gasket that goes up here. It's called a firing gasket. It's this one right here. This guy is going to go right here. And then you have a gasket down there. And then you have the V-band. So I'm going to get this thrown up in the car. A lot easier to put these ones in than these because you don't have all of this to work with. It's a lot more compact. A lot of good benefits from doing this. Cats don't do shit. They hide a bad tune. That's my opinion. But anyway, that's what we're at. Yeah, we're gonna install this. Alrighty, you can see it's installed. That's on. V-band clamps on. I put that on. Wind up the pipe, set it over the pipe. Sorry, I'm not even looking at it. I put the V-band clamp on, I slid it onto the turbo side, lined up the pipe with the seal or the gasket on there, put the clamp on there, I just slid it up over and held it so it holds it into place up here. Then I just lined this up, got some bigger bolts because the ones that were in this were pretty dinky. And then tighten that, tighten the new exhaust mount. So now we'll be reinstalling the motor mount and then the brace piece. And you can really do that just using the instructions provided. That's the old fire ring. They give you this. I did not print this out. This came in the box. And as far as me, I didn't even show you how to, that says remove. Let's see. I wonder if it tells you to put that back on or not. Yep, even walks you through how to put that piece back on. So I would just follow the instructions provided if you get the CPE. So I'm going to throw that on real quick. And then we'll get this section wrapped up. All right, all back together. See, the downpipe's installed. The motor mount is installed with the bracket. Yes, I still run my undershield. I need to get a new one. I'm gonna order one probably tonight. This one's got pretty beat up, probably from previous owner, because not that I know of, bottomed this car out. So I'm gonna order one tonight. Yep, that stuff's all done. All of the stock components are going in the stock component box. So we've got the intake now, the downpipe, the motor mounts, instructions. Still need to do the exhaust, but I might wait on that. Got some other stuff I need to do today because rain's coming and I still need to mow and stuff before it comes. And then that's probably gonna be for another day because that's gonna be a little more extensive, and I'm gonna get a tripod. I want to do a step-by-step on that for the people that buy it and need help installing it. I understand, well, I've been told by people that I do stuff for on their vehicles when I help them. They always tell me I make everything look easy. I've done this for many, many years. Like I said, since 2009, I've built many, many cars, and I've worked on thousands and thousands of cars. So it also helps that I have, a lot of tools, which, having the right tool for the job makes the job a lot easier. So I want to do a full install video on that cob. So I'm gonna pick up a tripod for that. I might knock out these massive arms. I believe it's these right here, I believe, is the ones that we'll be replacing. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that's the ones it is. But I might do those just so I can take it and get it aligned on Monday, just because I don't want to wear tires down because of alignment. But outside of that, that is it. Vehicle's done. For today probably. I will hopefully probably gonna be another weekend, like next weekend maybe, before I can get to the rest. Work, family comes first. My hobbies and my wants come second. It's part of life. But I do appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe, and any questions, comments, concerns you have, leave them down in the comments. And I answer all of them myself. I don't have anybody do it for me. And yeah, I'm out. Until next time. See you guys later.